welcome back to the YouTube channel. We got back over here to the shop. We're at Randy's shop down here in Wilmington. Randy is over there. What's up, Randy?
Yeah.
We got the John Saturn up on the lift up there. Let me show you what we got going on. Y'all comment, like, and subscribe. If y'all want to support the channel, head on over to turbojohnracing.com. Grab yourself some hats and t-shirts. Thanks, guys. All right, up on the lift. Y'all have seen this when we had it over at Brian's. Man, look how much easy access this thing has got under the bottom of the car. A lot of people have seen it under the bottom, but you can see there's a ton of floor structure. This is a 6.0 certified car, so it's good. The motor, the diaper, that is easy access on this thing. But we developed a little bit of a transmission leak, and it is coming from that fitting right there. That fitting there apparently is a little loose or damaged, so we're going to tighten that up, get the transmission leak fixed, and then hopefully that'll be the only leak. It's just leaking transmission fluid. We did adjust that to actual pressure, so we haven't checked that yet, but we think we're pretty good. Got lots of zip ties under here from Courtney stuff and my stuff. A few of these things sticking out. Those are daily. I probably need to go in there and like chop those off so that we don't get cut up when we have to work on this thing. This is the drain for the catch can. Awesome. With the exception of it did leak at one point. Pulling it on the trailer, apparently it grabbed it. I need to mess with that too. That should not be moving that easy. Maybe I need to put just a line coming through and put the valve on the inside of the car. That might help a little bit. So yeah, so everything looks pretty good under here though. Nice and happy with everything. Let me show you the reason we got it over here at the shop. All right, guys, so easy peasy. They were definitely loose, so we got those tightened up, so now we should be good there. Man, one thing about no prep racing is the glue goes everywhere. And like, you can see the burnout glue is all over. This is the group grease. It is all over everything. And that's just, that's just the way burnouts work, right? Tires are still in really good shape. They're still sticky. Oh yeah, those are coming around nice. We may try that Hoosier DO5 at some point. It looks pretty good, so we may try it sometime. So, but not right now is not it. Okay, let me show you what we got going on as well. All right, let's let it down. Okay, so the main reason we brought this thing over here, Uncle Mike that did Randy's stuff, he stays right here close to Randy's shop. So we are going to modify this cage just a little bit. Obviously the cage is a little small. The seat fits, I fit in there. And when I say small, what is happening is our seat is slid way back. We could slide the seat forward and not have to do anything. But I think since we want to have me sitting back, we're going to modify these bars a little bit. Basically, he's going to have to cut this. He's going to cut this tube out right here, cut this weld here, cut this weld here. And then this is going to sweep back just a little bit. Basically, what happens is when I'm in the car, this is on my tricep. And so I don't have much wiggle room holding the wheel. My arm is bent and kinked up like it's comfortable, but my tricep is pushing on this one and it's pushing on the one on the other side too. Generally, this is the first one I've ever seen where the cage actually goes completely down. So all he's gonna have to do is cut basically just like right here, somewhere in this area, and modify this bar coming down, and it's gonna sweep back. So it should be good to go. Should be pretty easy. Should be, it would not be easy for me. Hence why we brought it down here to Uncle Mike. So he is going to take care of that for us, and we're going to get some sweep action on the bars, and that way it'll be a little more comfortable to drive. The supports, I didn't really show y'all those. These are on-off switches. Brian had one and I had one, and I TIG welded this plate. Oh my God, it looks horrible. But it worked out pretty good. But this wing is pretty sturdy. Now, we still have not weighed this car. I'm not lying to you at all. We have not weighed it. We need to do that. We need to go ahead and weigh it and see where it's at. We have a bunch of weight in the back of the car. It's all back there in the very back. We got the chassis stops about right here. And so it's like a little snub nose. So we do have a lot though. We also need to support the push bar down here, because it is not supported, so we need to get that supported, weld something so we can push it. Randy, what did you think about pulling the car the other day? Not a fan at all. It was not pleasant. It was very uncomfortable. We couldn't seem to get our coordination together.
Blood pressure was up just there.
and it's jerky as all get out. I mean,
I ripped the front of the car.
right? It felt
I ripped the back of the smart car.
right. That's exactly right. I mean, because there's just no. I mean, it's hard. I mean, that's what we used to do back in the day, though. I mean, but we've gotten spoiled with push vehicles now. So we went to go put the push vehicle to it, and Courtney put the little bracket on it back there. And he was like, bro, if you push it, it's going to break it. He's like, it's going to destroy it. And so he bent it back up, got it on there, and we just got to run a support somehow from there up to the chassis because it's got a little aluminum bumper back there, and that's what they were using to push. And it just is not very secure. Now, granted, we got a lot more weight in the car than they probably had in it back in the day. Let me show you something else real fast. This is a new product that me and Kelly were talking about, and she made it. Check it out. All right, guys, so check out this new product. So if y'all been around the channel for a little while, y'all remember the EFI tags that we had, which was these little aluminum things to wrap around the wires, and they would say what it was. So now we have bigger Zippy Tie versions. So these Zippy Ties, Kelly are actually making these in the house, and I told her I wanted some Zippy Ties, some Turbo John Zippy Ties, and so she got some material that is very rubber-like, elastic. It's rubber, I guess. I don't know what actually it is. But so we are making some of these, so go check them out. They are pretty cool. We may shrink them down just a tad, possibly, just so that it wraps around a little bit tighter on some of these, maybe just get it a little bit smaller, but I like it. So this is the old style here, the old silver ones. They were little pieces of aluminum, which they work pretty good, but these we can actually do in-house instead of having to outsource these, so we can do a pretty good deal on it. So it's very good for documenting your lines. I mean, if you have a professional wired car, they always put the ends on it and then they put the stuff on it. But if you have like a factory wiring harness, like this is an O2 sensor wire from Holley, then of course over time this wears apart, wears off. This one's actually pretty new, so that's the reason why it's still there, but it works out. So we got a whole bunch of them boost, so that would be like if you want to do like map signal over there, if you wanted to do like a boost line for the CO2 lines, if you wanted to make sure you got those in the right spot. Crank signal, cam signal, and then we're going to have cylinders 1 through 8. So if you need to label your lines here, like at one point I did this with one of Kelly's little, I don't even know what it's called, Dynacom or whatever it is. They look like crap, but they're kind of wearing off and falling apart. So that is pretty cool. So if y'all want some of these, they're Turbo John Zippy Ties with writing on them to tell you where it goes. I appreciate it, guys. All right, guys, so it didn't work out over at Donald's. He was feeling a little bit under the weather, so we were going to go over there and spool that thing up. But Courtney was right around the corner, so we decided to come over here and check this out. All right, so if y'all haven't followed along with Courtney's channel yet, The Paint and Paper Hustle, make sure y'all go follow his page, and he's building this beautiful Comet for the how many time?
What? I think everything has been cut and modified 3 to 5 times on this car. I've had the car for 5 years, and I think everything has been cut that I've done has been redone 3 to 5 times.
So Courtney just started his channel a couple years ago now, and a lot of the work on the Comet didn't get shown in it. So now he is redoing it. He is going to turbocharger. So he had a blower on it. Y'all saw on my channel. We were having some blower belt issues a few times. Although the reality is that last time when the trans brake didn't work and it tried to leave on 6,000 RPM and like 16 pounds of boost, it didn't blow the belt off.
No, that one we probably would have had the pass that we were looking for.
I think you fixed the problem. He was honing all in the...
We built that right there.
Right, and he was tinkering with the alignment. But now he's got this thing he's been playing with, all the caster camber stuff, the double A-arm stuff. He's done a lot of work on this stuff. Putting these, what's the purpose of putting the top things in here again?
So somebody just asked me tonight on my channel that question, and the response is purely for cosmetics. And they were like, is there an advantage to running the top hats versus like your Saturn? Randy's cars don't have these either.
No.
So
well,
they were like, how's this?
No, his does.
Mounted?
Yeah, Randy's does. Randy's has got the factory stuff. Yep.
So they were like, why wouldn't you just do mounts basically like John Saturn is? And I said, it's purely cosmetics because all we're doing when this car from the factory has a coil spring in here, so it's the Comet and the Mavericks are coil spring to about here, and then it's an upper A-arm, and then it's the lower A-arm is not an A-arm, it's just a straight. I don't know what you call that.
Right.
It's just a straight line. So basically your coil spring is above your A-arms, and all this is literally it sets the coil in here. That's it. And then it mounts the shock, because the shock is on top of the double A-arm.
And it goes through the coil.
Yes, it goes
Right.
up, yes, through the
Right.
center of the coil. And so the point of this is pure cosmetic, because what we're going to do is we're going to build a flat plate with tabs, just like these tabs, and we're just going to mount a rear shock out of Randy's car. We're
Right.
going to mount a rear minster in here. So it's just purely cosmetic. Like, there's no advantage. It's actually harder to do this than just mount tabs, but when you open the hood, this looks factory.
Right. And, you know, I asked the question yesterday. Of course, all this is just mocked up right now. He's going to do bars and tubing. He's going to cut all this up.
Yeah, this gets cut to about right here so that it has room for all this to come out.
For the valve cover to come out and to pull the engine out. Yeah. But you're right. It will look more factory when you open the hood. And in the future, if you decide you want to do a Mustang strut and get rid of the double A-arm.
They were put back as close as possible to factory spec. So if we
Right.
did do a K-member with an A-arm, hopefully with adjustable caster camber plates, we can nail a strut straight through there.
Right. That's a little above my pay grade. All this stuff that he's doing, that's the front end stuff is, I like bolt-on stuff.
I don't know what I'm doing. I made tons of mistakes, and I show it on my channel, everything. I'm learning as I go.
Learning as he goes, building the front suspension.
And like an interesting fact, real fast, that I went over on my channel. Brian, off of your channel, Brian said to lay these back at 3 inches.
Right.
Jason Braswell said lay them back at 3 degrees. Jason Braswell said lay them back at 10 degrees. And measuring these from the factory, they were laid back approximately 7 degrees.
Right.
What do you do?
And so, and that's right. And you know, and one of the things that implements one of the things that there's many different ways to build a car.
Them are smart guys.
Right. And so there's many different ways. And so, you know, probably all of them do something a little bit different and make it handle a little bit different. That's above my pay grade there again. So the inside of the car, he's got most of this stuff done. The seats are out of it right now. He's been, you know, modifying this stuff, making it much more nice looking and more serviceable. So that if anything happens at the track, like when the trans brake didn't work. Did you find any loose wires on that?
No.
Huh. Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll have to figure it out.
Wiring to look through.
So he's got all this stuff done. It looks fantastic. Good wiring in here. He's had to move the relay board stuff. That was all in the center console. And so go back and look at his channel. He had this thing. It's not covered in as much dust as what I was imagining when I pulled up today.
There's body filler inside this car, and this car has been sanded with a block like you would do on the outside of the car. If you watch the channel, there was blocking and sanding done on this interior.
It looks good. It looks amazing. It really does look good. But man, he's working on it. So now today is December what? 21st? I think the date is 21st, 22nd. Now he had a self-imposed deadline of January 1st. So he's got about a week and a half to get it finished. So Courtney is still learning. Have you started learning TIG welding yet?
No, you can see my TIG welding experience right there.
TIG welder is over there in the box. So he's not started doing that yet, but he's going to be, it's going to be super easy. The only thing he's going to have to do is one little piece of straight pipe, weld a couple, the V-band on this side of the turbo and the blow-off valves. So he's going to be selling his, the blower stuff at some point here. So, but that's the turbo. Now that is what turbo is that?
94 millimeter S400 frame, right?
Yeah, S400 based. This is Jose's forced inductions. It's his brand, FIS. You see the wheel is swooped back quite a bit, so that's good. That helps. And then the turbine wheel is also swooped back a little bit. It's got some cuts on it, and I don't know what turbine wheel that is. I hadn't seen the S400 chassis in a while, but this is a nice looking turbo. And your motor is capable of making, what, 1,500 horsepower?
Yeah, we could pretty much say 15-ish. I mean, you know, TKM and stuff says they'll probably go past that.
Right.
If you want to put a safe number, no issues, should be no issues, 15. I mean, we could probably get 18 fine.
Man, this thing's looking good. It's looking really good. It's gonna be powerful. It's gonna be fast. I think we ain't gonna throw no belts off. So I mean, you've made good progress in learning to drive the race car. You know, what's the fact? I think we went 560s or 570s.
No, everybody thinks I think it was low 580s.
580s. Okay.
Like 582, about 584 or so. But we would have made so much more progress if we weren't throwing the belt.
Throwing the belt. Yeah, that's
we
what.
wasted a ton of time.
And because we didn't do that on methanol either. That was on the 85. We didn't never get a personal best on methanol. Because every time I couldn't turn it down enough. We kept making big changes, turning it down, and it wasn't enough.
That was very interesting. If you go back and watch John's video, if you search John's channel for the Comet, just the keyword Comet, you should find this. And yeah, the car went from just throwing the belt and going slow to it was like out of control, and John couldn't control the car.
It was unbelievable how much
the methanol just made it a beast.
The difference in power, you know, taking off the intercooler, we know that was a hindrance. So going with no intercooler and methanol it was wild how that last pass at 710, I think was going to be it. But then we had the two-step failure. And so the two-step failed, and so...
The suspension set up something got out of whack, and so we couldn't try it again.
Yeah, the trans brake worked, but the Holly did not pick up the signal that said it was on the two-step. So instead of leaving at 3,400 RPM, it tried to leave at like 6,000. He put it to the floor and let go of the trans brake button, and it was like, wah! I mean, but the belt stayed on.
Yeah.
So that was interesting for sure. All right, guys. Well, just an update on Courtney's, too. While I was over here in the neighborhood, I don't get the Wilmington a ton, but so I want to stop over here and hang out for a few minutes. Y'all go check out his channel, The Paint and Paper Hustle, and this thing will be back alive again soon.
John should be able to run and type in some numbers on this thing this time.
This is going to be bad to the bone. Yeah. This is going to be awesome. All right, guys. Comment, like, and subscribe. See y'all later.